Moving on to the 7th race on the card. This is when we're starting to get into our 2 turns. This is the Grade 1 Breeders Cup Distaff. Obviously, Distaff, we are only going to be talking about the fillies and mares. So only the ladies going to be running here. We are going 1 mile and an eighth on the dirt, 3-year-old fillies for a purse of $2 million. One note, the queen of this division over the past 2 years has been Thorpedo Anna. She was retired from racing a couple weeks back. So it's time to crown a new queen of the ladies. Raider Jim, I'll let you get this one started. Breeders' Cup Distaff, race number 7.
Yeah, early 12 entries. Early line favorite is the number 8 horse, Seismic Beauty, at 9-5. Now, here's the deal about Seismic Beauty. Seismic Beauty has, at 9-5, has been off 91 days and was performing so well. Why would you pull a horse that long and not keep them going and just put them in, a few furlongs here, a few furlongs there, and keep them training? Is there something wrong? Is there a little bit, did the trainer pick up on something? I don't know, but if I'm not mistaken, and let me take one look at something, I believe this horse is trained by none other than Mr. Baffert, and it's ridden by Juan Hernandez. Now, when that happens, there are reasons that horse has been off for 91 days because Bob Baffert knows what he's doing. But still, to me, it puts question in my mind. With that said, I'm going to go with the 3-horse. Clicquot is how I've heard the name pronounced. At 10-1, there's your upset in the Breeders' Cup, if you want to call it, for the Breeders' Cup races. The Distaff at 10-1. Last time out, there was questions. Will this horse ever win a G1, a Grade 1? Last time out, won the Cotillion Grade 1, and I think going to be on track, ready to go, no pun intended. But who do you put underneath then? Well, there's 2 horses that you and I are very familiar with. One being the 12-horse Dorth Vader, the other one being the 4-horse Scylla. Dorth Vader has just been so inconsistent. You you almost can't count on Dorth Vader to even show up in the money. So on your underneath bets. So what do? What about Scylla? Scylla's usually a performer, but when you really look at it, to me, at 15-1, good value there as your underneath horse, because Scylla is just like a professional, gonna come in place, gonna come in show horse. Not gonna win this race though, but definitely has enough to go in underneath and catch you on the show. So no Thorpedo Anna. Seismic Beauty, definitely the favorite, but I don't think Seismic Beauty is going to do it. 8's going to come in second. Clicquot is going to, number 3 horse, is going to win this one. Scylla or Dorth Vader underneath that.
Yeah, we're pretty much kind of seeing it here. I do like Seismic Beauty here, and I think it's more of, normally the Distaff for myself is always one of the more intriguing races. I kind of go back to the days of Monomoy Girl and Swiss Skydiver. And I mean, when the Distaff division was top notch. And as usual, you kind of have the bit of a changing of the guard, and who knows, we might be talking about Seismic Beauty the same way as some of those others. Now, Thorpedo Anna is a filly that may be one of the top 5 fillies of this generation. So it's hard to kind of put her on the same level, or put any of these horses on her level, I should say. But I really do like Seismic Beauty. I like what she's put together, and you can't go wrong with Baffert at the helm. I do like On the Post Nitrogen, 4-1. This is kind of the chalky pick right here. Has been good, but we need a step further. This has always kind of seemed to be a horse that we've expected to flip a switch, and maybe we'll flip it, but it won't stay on. And again, this is a horse they put on dirt and now turf and back to dirt again. And it does seem to have finally started to kind of mellow out with its consistency. I'd like that number to go up a little bit. I don't think it will, which is unfortunate. Therefore, I am going to be looking underneath, and like you as well, an old friend like Scylla is always someone that I will just kind of be able to say, you know what, 15-1, I should say, not too bad. Ran very well in the Spinster. Now, unfortunately still finished third behind 2 horses that are running in this race. But I do think Scylla underneath could be one to watch out for. And then finally, the one horse that I'm very, very intrigued at and will probably make it onto my card, not as a winner, but probably as a place show, is the 7 horse, Gin Gin. We talked about this horse going into the Spinster or the Fleur de Lis. I don't quite remember, but I had notes kind of questioning, hey, has Brendan Walsh kind of unlocked something with this horse? Because it was trained by Brad Cox, and then earlier this year was kind of given to or transferred to Brendan Walsh's stables, and the numbers jumped exponentially. And this is a horse at 12-1 in the Spinster against a lot of these big time horses in this race. It went off at 18-1 and it got the win by a head over Nitrogen and Cilia and some of the others. I think you have to keep an eye on Gin Gin. I really like what Brendan Walsh has figured out with this horse. And at 12-1, and maybe it drops down to 10, maybe 8-1, but I don't see it dropping lower than 8-1 there. So I really do like Gin Gin. And, one thought on Dorth Vader, as you mentioned, another kind of seems like always when we're talking about fillies on this, or mares, I should say, Dorth Vader always kind of shows up. Unfortunately, I think the post position works against her here. And it's just, as you mentioned, we haven't really seen a ton, and we haven't seen her run since August. I don't know. 5-1, that's a really short number. I really think if you are going to be looking for a Dorth Vader type in terms of that type of value, Gin Gin is something to keep, or is a horse to keep an eye on in the distaff.